So we have to, how can I surrender even more in this moment? Hey, crazy bro. And am I on the right path? Well, if that doesn't resonate straight away, I don't know what will. If that doesn't resonate straight away. Hi, Ashley Nelson Music. Welcome in, hun. Am I on the right path? And how can I surrender even more in this moment? Hey, Ashley, thank you so much for that subscription, hon. I appreciate you. So this is a general message. You came in just in time, Ashley, for the general message for the treehouse. So this is another group reading. The last group reading I did was, I think it took us about an hour. So there's going to be a lot of information. After that, I will be opening up for the raffle for subscriber readings. Okay, so I was just talking about my own struggles with this and manifestation and finding bumps in the road with manifestation and talking about how I've been actively trying to find my own balance in the situation, in my life, in myself, in my actions, in my mindset, in my emotions, in my energetic body, doing the work, right? You guys want to know what doing the work means? There you go. That's what it is. All right. Hi, Invader. Thank you for the subscription. I appreciate you so much, hon. Hi. So, I do feel like a lot of people have been were dealing with this and working through this. So this is what this message is going to be for. You're going to try your backflip. Good luck. Rhonda Weber, welcome into the treehouse, dear. So this reading may take us some while, but it'll be a nice full-fledged message that I think everybody can honestly benefit from. So, number 1, am I on the right path? And how can I surrender even more in this moment? What if I told you we're always on the right path? It's kind of like the energy of multiple timelines, multiple paths, multiple trails, multiple fractals going in many different directions. What if we are always on the right path? We just sometimes feel like we're not because we're not in the moment. Multiple Lunas. Yes. Just not, we don't have multiple cloned Lunas yet, and that's not a thing right now. Thank you for following, Rhonda. So what if I told you you're always on the right path? It's just a shift. It's just a change. It's just an adjustment. It's just a detour. Right? And sometimes we know we need to make a detour, or sometimes we know we need to go on a different trail so that we can realign with where we want to be going, or what our soul knows we need on the inside of us. Because our mind is our ego. It has a very specific idea of what this path looks like, right? Go to college. This is an example. Go to college, get the degree, get a job in that degree. That's like how simplistic the ego has for completing or getting on task or being on the path, right? I think this message is going to help a lot of people. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But I'm glad it is so far. So, same thing. For me. Okay, what's the example for me? Do art full time. Be a Twitch streamer full time. Right? I'm going to go on Twitch, paint art. Step 1. Step 2, work on growing. All right? Step 3, grow to Twitch partner, right? That's the goal. Twitch partner, right here. It's a very linear path, right? That means if I'm pushing, right? I should eventually hit the finish line. But what if Twitch partner is not the main path, but a side path? But the soul has maybe created this halt, this freeze, this stop, because we have this idea of our goal, but when we're acting like it's the main goal, but it's really not. It's a side quest. It doesn't mean we're not going to have the thing, but I do feel like sometimes we get so caught up in the end destination that we think that end destination is all there is. But that's not accurate. There are many paths. There are many end destinations. So are you making sure that all of your pathways have an equal amount of energy put into them? And yes, sometimes one pathway, one vein, one avenue, one fractal segment does need more energy sometimes. You will know, okay? But I do think sometimes we funnel feed all of our energy into one thing, which is what I was doing. Right? Content creation, Twitch partner, painting, tarot. I was really going into like one thing. Like really funneling everything into this thing. But yet, all these other things in life weren't being fed. I was taking all of my energy away from these other things that were not being fed and putting it into like this avenue. That's not healthy. That's not balanced. That's not a good way to manifest, right? Because yeah, you're growing this one thing, but you're letting everything else die in the process. So, for those of you who are in a situation of ride or die, quit manifesting ride or die in your life. Stop it. That is not balanced. That is not healthy. And I am kind of getting really energized into the mic right now. Because I want you guys to quit. If you quit your job and you are relying on Twitch TV to make or break you in manifestation, that is not healthy. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't want that, but there is a need, a desire, a forced energy in that manifestation that will be interfering. Do you understand? Your desire, your I need this will get in the way. So it will make it that much harder, or it will not happen. There are other ways to build your self-security, right? There are other things to balance out in your life to give you the sense of security that you want. And it's good to want some security from the things that you love. I think that's a beautiful thing. Right now, what I already have can make it much easier for me to do much of anything, honestly. I can have an easier time paying rent. I can have an easier time paying bills. I can have an easier time just generally caring for myself and expressing myself. This is, even though it's not full grown, is already making things easier for me. But I do have to be an adult. I do have to be my own adult, right? The adult part of me, the nurturing mother part of me, has to step in and say, okay, but we need to make sure all of our other needs are taken care of too. It's okay, little child Diana, little child Timidly, little child Ashley, little children Treehouse. It's okay to want your desires to take care of you and help you live life more sustainably. That's not the problem. The problem is that need and that anchor of desire that is placed on it. That makes it the ride or die situation. That makes it hard, if not impossible, to work with. That's why it's a love-hate relationship. Because you love the thing, but you hate that it's not taking care of you. So then those energies don't match up. So then your manifestation is off. It's just off. So figure out a way to make that balanced so that you are able to put in the right energy 100% into what you're creating. That's what these messages want to talk about. This is all the right path. It's just we feel like we're not because it's not balanced, because we're not in the moment figuring out what we need right now to make ourselves in the right energy is really the right answer. We're not taking the time to check in with ourselves and say, okay, how is my energy right now? How is my life right now? What do I need to feel secure? What do I need to feel supported? What do I need to feel financially stable? What do I need to feel emotionally grounded? Give yourself those things and grow your passions alongside it. But I feel like we all grow, or at least quite a lot of us are maybe tired and just maybe even unaware that would actually be what's causing problems. But I do feel like this is going to help. This message helps quite a few people. So I'm going to actually read the cards now. I do feel like this is going to be a large message. So am I on the right path? This card says, sometimes we second guess what we are doing. Yes, we do. We lose trust in the process, and sometimes we question if we are even on the right path at all. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Know this, you are on the right path. Keep going. Keep believing. Keep remembering that you made a soul contract that you are currently fulfilling in every area of your life. Even if you can't see it, that doesn't mean it's not real. Okay? So today, search for all the ways that you are aligned with your soul's purpose. The signs will then start to appear for you. Let this newfound trust fuel your next steps. So again, we won't know where we are, or if we are aligned, or if we need to take a detour on a path that we're on right now, a branch of a path, because it's all the path, if we're not checking in with ourselves in the moment, right? Like I had mentioned before I even got on stream, before I even started this message, and I had first gotten on stream, I said, I actually laid down in the middle of the day and took a nap because I freaking needed it. Whereas a past me would have maybe said, oh, you don't need a nap, you got a lot of work to do, you got all this other stuff that you could be doing with that time, why are you napping? It's 2:22, it was 2:22. 2:22 in the afternoon, why are you taking a nap? In that moment, I freaking needed a nap. And I feel like if I was not checking in with myself and saying, what do I need right now to feel safe, secure, balanced, energized, fulfilled, whatever it is that you feel drawn to ask about. You should be sitting there before you make a choice. What do I need right now? I feel like there's an over glorified workaholic energy that a lot of maybe people have. I know I have this. Oh my gosh, this is me. Workaholic right here. Right? Remember I would do 6 or 7, 8-hour streams, and I would sometimes not go to the bathroom. Remember that? I was talking to a lady at work today, and she was saying the same thing that I was doing not that long ago, which was working her entire shift without letting herself go to the bathroom. That is messed up. Wearing it, and the thing is, it's worn like a badge. Look at how much of a hard worker I am, because I was so dedicated to my work that I didn't even take care of myself. That is not healthy. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. But I myself have recognized now that I need more boundaries in what I'm doing. And I need to balance everything out. And I feel like everyone else in different ways maybe needs the same thing. So you'll have to surrender to yourself in the moment and check in with yourself in order to know, does this path I'm currently on feel 100% aligned to me? If not, what do I need to feel alignment? What do I need to feel fulfillment? What do I need to feel like it is good, set, straight, standard? And I need to be able to know how I feel and what I need, so I know how to adjust this path. Because this is a path. Your path is a path that you build. And I've mentioned this before, this imagery of walking on a path, walking on a sidewalk, right? You just take a little walk. And sometimes you get to the end of the pavement, right? Or the end of the stones, or the end of the trail. And sometimes you have to keep walking anyway, even though the path's not there, because you know it's actually there. It's sometimes it does take a leap of faith to just keep going, but it's also one that sometimes you have to build a stone for, or you have to lay the concrete down for, so that you can continue forward. It's a path that you build. Okay? So, how can I surrender even more in this moment? It's essential to have clear, strong intentions of what we desire. But it's equally important for us to detach from the outcome, right? I'm going to go to college, get this degree, and get this type of job. It's okay to follow that path, but if we quit traveling down the road because we haven't hit this marker yet, we're creating stagnation, or we're creating resistance. We're creating an imbalance. Maybe that was what we were initially inspired to do, because that path was going to lead us to this other path. But if we get so stuck here, waiting for this to manifest, we will be missing all this other stuff. It's almost no, I have a full-time job that I'm working right now, even though I don't like it, and I know I need something new. I'm not gonna apply for jobs or look around at jobs quite yet, because I've already put so much time and effort into this job. Maybe that job and the skills of that job you've obtained, you're no longer resonating with it, which is why you feel unfulfilled. To a degree, this could very much be the case. And now you're choosing to just stick here and wait for like, oh, I'll just wait for a position to come open that I know I don't really see an outlet for right now. I'm gonna wait like 5 years for a position to open up and see if I can move up then. But I'm okay for now. Even though you're really not. You don't feel okay. Sometimes the skills we've gained are just supposed to get us to the next place. And we do have to say goodbye. So, again, take what resonates and take what doesn't. Or don't take what doesn't. But this card says, it's time to surrender. Detach from the outcome because it's time to surrender. Let the universe have some breathing room to start working for you. Let go of the wheel and trust so deeply that your trust turns into gratitude for what you cannot see yet, but you know is coming. It is kind of trusting the process. And if you have a hard time trusting the process of life, if you have a hard time trusting life, it's because you have a hard time trusting yourself. And I often find if you have a hard time trusting the process, it's because in some way or form, your self-care is lacking. You don't trust yourself to take care of you. Right? Here's an example. My example. I'm going to push this Twitch thing so hard that it hurts. But I'm not going to be able to afford my own rent. I barely afford bills, barely do this, barely do that, barely do this. Can't really take care of myself financially. That's not okay. That's not okay for me to do to myself. Twitch didn't do that to me. The treehouse didn't do that to me. Nobody in the chat did that to me. I did that to me. I knew my needs were not being met by this avenue, but I pushed it anyway. That's my fault for not taking care of me. Do you see? This is really helping a lot of people. This is really helping a lot of people. So if I'm not taking care of me, the universe looks down on me and says, oh, wow, Luna really wants this beautiful thing, but she's not taking care of herself. She doesn't have the energy of taking care of herself and loving herself. So we're going to hold off on this because there's a lesson that she needs to learn. Do you see what I'm pointing out? So my energy is not matching what I want for manifestation purposes because it's coming from need. It's coming from desire. It's not coming from love. It is coming from love. Love is still in there, but it's not the main energy because I'm pushing too hard. Is this message making sense? Hey, Sassafrats, welcome in. Apparently Luna needs to love her own darn self. Exactly, Roger. Yeah. And you don't understand how long it took me to see the whole picture. You don't understand how long it took me to see the whole picture. Because I'm like, yeah, I love me. I'm a good person. I'm a beautiful person. I'm just this wonderful being. So yeah, I do love myself. I appreciate everything, but not enough to make sure my needs are met on the physical reality. Do you see? If there's a but, even in any form, I was thinking that I was outside of my own physical reality. I was not bringing in all spectrums of life into what I was doing, if that makes sense. I was all spiritual, metaphysical, and no actual physical reality, if that makes sense. Hi, Brittany. Hey, memorabilia. Hey, Emma. Glad to have you. And hi, Sassafrats. I don't know if I said hi. Yes, this is so helpful. So, this is why I wanted to do a general read, but also why I wanted to talk about it, because I have felt like this is something that I just need to talk about. Not just, like, it is mostly for you guys, but, like, it also, like, clarifies for me, like, what I've learned. Have I actually learned this lesson? Because if I can pull these messages and explain them in a really practical way that makes sense, then obviously I have learned it. I would not be able to explain this kind of energy if I hadn't learned this lesson, right? I could only explain it so far, and some of it might not resonate, right? If I had not learned it. So it does aid me as well in just checking in with myself and making sure, has this been actually learned? Is this something that makes sense? Have I actually seen the whole picture, Your friend always says, yeah, but that's in real world when talking self-care. Does he, Sassafrats? He says, yeah, but that's in the real world. He doesn't want to do it either. I feel that so hard. I'm like, but I'm a magical, spiritual being who can do anything. But I don't want to do the real world shit. That's true. That's true. Me saying that is like, that's me being so freaking honest, right, to you guys right now. Like, I don't even think I could get more serious and more honest about that. Like, that's me. I mean, that was me. Alright, let's see what other messages wants to come through for this. I feel like I already talked about a lot. But this is for everybody, so this is gonna help. And then after we finish this one, I'll open it for raffles. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for allowing me to share. Alright. So structure. So yeah, I think like I said before, like we were talking about before even pulling this card, I think these cards are basically just going to confirm what I've been saying. It's not the wrong path. It's just you are the one building the path, so you need to do some restructuring. Do to now. Thank you so much for those bits. I appreciate that. So yeah, it's about restructuring. It's about building the path in the way that is more aligned for you to get everything that you need. And sometimes, yeah, you know what? Sometimes that means you keep going, but you build out. Like, you get a part-time job, 2 part-time jobs, a full-time job. You move around. You get a roommate. You get some assistance, like food assistance, because you gosh darn need help. You maybe find out a way to get some health insurance because your health has been deteriorating. You find a way to make it happen. You find a way to make your needs met. And that does not mean that the universe, that's not an energy of, I don't trust the universe to give me what I need. That's you being part of the universe and taking charge of your own life. Because I feel like sometimes, especially in this manifestation kind of energy, like law of attraction, like need nothing to gain everything. I feel like sometimes there's an energy in that of like, oh, this is the easy way where you don't actually have to do anything. Except just be on the inside. And while I do think there's a small amount of truth in that, I do feel like the only reason we be is because we are. Okay? Is because we are. Some of us, I feel, want to work with this manifestation and this law of attraction, and we just focus on like internal emotional work, fixing our mentality, fixing our spiritual energy, or whatever we want to say. And not to say those things are not great and it doesn't work, but I think it's only one part of the practice, only one part of the how the exchange actually works. And I think we get so focused on being that we forget about like what we are, like A-R-E, what we are, which I think brings a level of physicality, physical world into it, if that makes sense. And I think a lot of us need to start putting physical action into helping us be. So if you can't, and this would be anything, right? You need a hug. Take the physical action of giving yourself a hug. Okay, anything that you need. I need a place to live. Take the actions of finding a way for you to have a place to live. This is how you manifest. And I do think things become easier and start flowing, not just because magical universe has created things for you. You, the magical part of the universe, created things for you. And you practiced your action. You practiced your structure building. You've practiced you and how to balance you, manifest you, restructure yourself and your life at the same time. You become the master. So in our previous reading about the master card, mastery, if you go back and watch that video, 323, I did the reading. Mastery, that's how you become the master. Then no matter what, you're good. Because you have mastered yourself. Whew, we're going to have to go back and watch this a few times. I'm going to have to go back and watch this a few times. Buddha could not have sat under that tree the whole time, surely. He must have been doing something. Coolly, love your damn self. Yes. Hand Staplix. Put action into that dream. And yeah, that means sometimes you push yourself way too hard and you burn out and fail and crash and burn and you're like, and you cry. Oh, I failed. I didn't do it. Oh my God, I'm not supposed to have this thing. Then guess what? Excuse me. You work yourself through that. Let yourself feel that. Work yourself through that. Find your new balance. Build a new structure. And start over. Not really start over, but start fresh. Start with fresh energy. Okay, I learned a lot from that failure. I learned a lot from having 2 credit cards that are maxed out and now I can't pay anything. Oh my God. Yeah, I learned a lot from that. Oh God, I failed. Whew. But I got this. I can figure out a way to move through this and move past this. I can still be financially free, financially stable with credit card debt. Instead of saying I can't be because I have this, it's saying I'm working towards this. Instead of saying I'm unhappy, I'm healing. It's the same type of energy. One kind of denies responsibility and forward progress by saying I am. You already claim whatever it is that you're saying I am. Whether that's sad or financially crippled or stagnant or depressed, like you're claiming it and then once you claim it, there's no movement there, right? However, I would almost start finding ways to not just be, but always shift for progression. You can say, I am financially wealthy like 500 million times, right? And to some people, that would make sense, and that would be enough for the law of attraction. I'm thinking it. I'm feeling it in my energy because I'm saying it like I mean it. But I'm not moving any of that energy in physical reality by taking actions. I'm just holding that energy in my vessel, hoping that the universe will see and just give me shit. But that's not how this works. Whew. This is a big message. Hey, controller! This is a big message. Holy cow. You have to take action. And the thing is, and that's not to say that the law of attraction is crap. I just feel like some of the ways that it's being explained, like we're not being shown the whole picture. And I think partially that has a lot to do with just really kind of not empowering people, honestly, if I'm going to be totally truthful. Like, I feel like, I don't know, at least with the way that I've viewed it, and maybe I haven't been looking at the right material for the law of attraction, but I do feel like most of it kind of feels like a prayer. And not that prayers are bad, but like it almost feels like a magical pill. Like it feels like the weight loss pill of spirituality, if I were to pick a comparison. Law of attraction feels like the weight loss pill of spirituality. Like, just take the pill and it'll get done. Or just do the thing and it'll get done. It's like an easy track, but your spirit doesn't grow from anything in that. So, I don't know. Part of that really is not resonating for me. Or I feel like we don't have the full picture of it. And I feel like this reading is really helping a lot of people, like, kind of see more of the picture. Because it does require a lot of things. The wisdom card comes out too. I do feel like wisdom is about knowing all of the truth. A wise person is fully wise, right? You don't say someone's wise because they're kind of smart sometimes. No, you say they're wise because they appear to see everything. They appear to be sharing full-fledged wisdom, not parts of wisdom. Wow, this is really resonating with the what I was just saying, with feeling like we're only receiving part of the piece of the law of attraction. I feel like this is the key right here. This is exactly why I know you are legit, D. Thanks, controller. I don't feel like the law of attraction is crap, and I don't think it's garbage, and I don't think people should not do it, but I do think that we don't see the full picture. And that can really be a disservice to many people. And I don't know, maybe it's just not explained well enough either. I'm not sure, honestly. Maybe it's hard to explain unless you've actually, like, maybe this is it. Maybe it's one of those situations where people who are maybe sharing it don't have the full expression of it because I don't know. Maybe some people have not been sure how to explain it because they haven't received the full expression of how it works. And so maybe that's why sometimes it doesn't come out all the way. I'm not sure. Honestly, that's not me in the reading. That's just me, like, thinking. That's not part of the reading. But I am interested in that the wisdom part with seeing the whole picture does make sense with the law of attraction. So I feel like this is really talking about the full spectrum, or trying to obtain the full spectrum of actually how manifestation works. Phew. I said this was going to be a big one. I said this was going to be a big one. I hope you all are learning. I'm going to have to clip and save this and put it into YouTube and watch it for myself. So we have action card again. So yeah, I feel like this is about structuring your life, structuring your path, building your stones, your stone path, which with each piece of stone on your own, in a way that is structured to fulfill all of your needs. And in order to be able to build this kind of path for yourself, you do need to have wisdom. You need to have wisdom of the physical world. You need to have wisdom of where you're going, like externally, where you're going internally, where you're headed emotionally. And you need to be able to have wisdom to know where you are right now, right in the moment, surrendering to the moment. You need to have the full spectrum of wisdom, not just a piece of it. So this includes you, internal, you, external, life, internal, life, external. It includes all of it. And I feel like there's a lot of us who are just focused on you internal. Can't thank you enough for what you do. Thanks, Ashley. Hi, Blue Water. When is now? Always. We also have the Moon card, which is talking about this one. In this deck, this says illusion. And I do feel like actually illusion is the right word to use. Because I do feel like the same thing as a diet pill making you lose like 50 pounds is an illusion. The same way that this watered down, not that everybody waters it down, but this watered down view of the law of attraction manifestation is an illusion. And I think that this is really not a popular thing for me to be saying. This is really not a popular thing for me to be saying. But I do feel like that's what this kind of wants to come out and say, is that if you're going to look at this manifesting life and creating life, law of attraction, if you're going to look at it like this, like if you're just looking at the baseline and doing the basic practice, like there's so much more of the wisdom that you're missing out on, unfortunately. And let's see what else wants to come out. And sometimes though I do think like illusion is necessary, especially when you just need some hope, right? Like sometimes illusion can be healthy. Like I don't think illusion is all negative. I do think sometimes having a air of illusion can be healthy when it's something that you need. So again, knowing yourself well enough in the moment. Do I maybe need to believe in a fairy tale right now to bring myself up to an emotional place that's better for me? Do I need to maybe accept some of this illusion, accept some of these stories, accept some of these ideas, accept some of these beliefs to create, because that's really what this whole message is about, balance within me? And is that being done in a healthy way for my highest good? I do think that sometimes, and I've done this as well, you do just knuckle down and you're like, you know what? I'm just going to listen to the videos. I'm just going to do the affirmations. And I'm just going to do this until I get my head straight. That can be healthy. That can be acceptable. That can be enough. That can be the part that you need in that moment, but that's not all of it. Speak your truth, ma'am. It's what we're here for. Thanks, Unstablix. Phew. And you'll only know if it's balanced for you and if you need it, if you check in with yourself. This okay. We have a couple, I think there's a second message coming in now. So for those of you that really aren't here for like a clarified manifestation, we have another message here. So we have Ace of Cups, friendship. I actually feel like when I first saw this card, I actually read the word as empowerment instead of emotions. So I'm actually going to say empowerment with this card, this Ace of Cups. I'm going to translate that to empowerment. I feel like this whole message is really how you become an empowered being, how you become someone who is empowered, how you become empowered, how you are empowered. Okay. I do think that with the Three of Cups, some type of collaboration. We'll see what wants to come out for this. I do think this message is almost done. I usually do 3 cards. I'll do one more card here for clarification. And then, thank you. That was like right on cue. And then I will do 2 light worker, and then I'll open the raffle. Collaborative movement. I do feel like once we empower ourselves, I almost feel like this message is going to empower lots of people on an individual level. And then what? This is how we help. This is how we help thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people, right? Not just me, not just the treehouse, but everybody. Here's how it works. You learn how to become empowered. Then you go live the lesson, experience the lesson, integrate the lesson, integrating by like through lived experience, emotional experience, mental experience, not just mental understanding. Integration is experience. Okay? You have the experience, then you go and share that with your friends. And then everybody moves forward. Everybody moves to the next stage. Everybody moves along together. So one person reaches 3 people. And then those 3 people reach like 15 people. And then those 15 people pass along the message to like an umpteen number. It just expands. So I do feel like this is a message that I think has been missing for a lot of people for so long, or like maybe the deeper wisdom, thank you, of it has been missing for so long. Maybe the practicality of the message has been like, I don't really want to say hidden, but like misunderstood, not really shown clearly, not really experienced, maybe not really experienced by those talking about it. I'm not sure. But I do feel like this is so that, this message is being shared so that everybody can work together to move forward. It's like the same message that I had last time of like crossing the finish line. Like, to cross the finish line, you gotta do the work. Not just energy work, not just mental work, not just emotional work, not just spiritual work. You gotta do the physical work too. Okay. So I'm gonna draw 2 Lightworker cards, and then I'll open up the raffle queue. Phew, this was a large message. I don't know how long I've been reading this message for, but whew. Alright, so we want 2 Lightworker oracles, please, for this reading. As final kind of pieces of evidence. Evidence. Sure. Evidence. Power of the Divine Masculine. You got a question for you once you're finished with the message. Okay, Unstablix. Yeah, we'll take time to chat for a minute before I go straight into the raffles. Close to an hour, I think. I hope it was helpful. I don't know why I said evidence. This is the evidence. I think this is funny though, because I would say, yeah, divine masculine energy is the action taking. I really do feel like this is evidence of I don't know, I feel like maybe in spirituality, maybe, oh my god, such a big message. Okay. I really feel like the outer physical world has been so divine masculine that maybe the spiritual side of things has been so feminine to balance reality out a bit, because it's almost like assuming a role because you know that role is needed. But I feel like slowly everybody is learning this like truth, so many different layers to truth, that actually this is not becoming as much of a dominant force in reality, that we as spiritual beings don't need to be so far on the other side, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like even as a collective, everything is coming into balance. So that includes those of us that maybe are in tune with our inner feminine energy, need to be balancing this out too. Because I could definitely see that within the spiritual community. You know, like we're not perfect. Like, this energy is not completely balanced, but I can see this energy quite clearly being less and less dominant and coming into balance. So I feel like that's why this truth wants to come out now, because I feel like maybe more of us are more ready to have that masculine energy balance within us. And for those of you who are twin flames, this could also be like a divine masculine energy that has kind of inspired this action, like energetically, or maybe if you're in communication, like even in a very tangible way. All right, any other evidence? Lady Lunastar would like to remind you that tarot reading is basically for entertainment purposes only. Allegedly. You can see this on Stablix. I did too. I can see it too. That's why I went, oh my god, this is so huge. Because I can see that too. That's kind of what a little mini download I had. And then I was like, oh my god, I could see that. That makes sense. No wonder. I was like, how do we go without this wisdom for so long with this practice? That was what I was asking myself. Like, how do we go so long with this practice being broke that we don't notice? How does that happen? Like, I don't get it. Like, people are smart. You know what I mean? Like, people are smart. But this makes sense. You know what I mean? There would be, because that would make sense, because I could see I could see the collective, especially collective people who are more in tune with their feminine and more on the feminine side would struggle with this. Maybe they would reject it because it's too masculine. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like, ooh, that my divine feminine is a little insecure with that. So, I don't know how I feel. They might actually reject it outright. So that might be why. Woo, boy. It's interesting. It resonates with me. It makes sense with me. Hopefully it makes sense with you too. As always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But this makes a lot of sense for me. But I do think that it's all about balance. The fact police are coming to arrest you if you do non-entertaining tarot. The fact checkers of Facebook are gonna come on Twitch. They're gonna become the fact checker police of the interwebs. They're gonna come off Facebook and do all of the internet. You think balance is the key here? I do too on Stablix, yeah. And that's really what the whole message has been, is like tuning into balance. Oops. All right, just one more card, please. One more card, one more quote-unquote evidence. Let's see what we got here. Is there one more in here? Then we'll move on to something else. There we go. Sixth ray of devotion. All right. What's this card want to say? Okay. This has a message of surrendering. Like, we have an idea of what surrendering is. Like, we have an unbalanced idea of what surrendering is what's coming through here. Because there is this card here it says surrender. I forgot. It says surrender. And I do feel like there needs to be a balanced perspective on what surrendering is. So in chat, you don't have to say it if you want, but I do want you to just quickly jot down or make a mental note or think about in one word or a few words what surrendering feels like and looks like to you. Is it non-action? That's really what I want to ask you. Is surrendering to you in some type of place or phase a lack of action? Is the idea of surrender, just in general, the word surrender, does it have an energy of non-action? Unbalanced masculine energy. It does to me. For me, surrender feels like non-action. That's why I'm asking. I feel like this wants to point this out and like glare a big red flag, like penalty foul, like this is what? So a lot of people are saying, they are kind of agreeing that surrendering is when you stop doing something. So you stop taking actions. You stop giving up on desires and trusting that what you need will be brought to you. Magically by the law of attraction, right? Magically by the universe. Don't take action. Stop moving. fall into the illusion that things are just going to come in. Oh my God. Do you guys see the message? Are you guys getting how big this message is? Oh my God. I can't even explain all of it right now. How are you going to... God, this is really to balance some people out. Oof. It does still fit, Invader. It does. But look how unbalanced that is. Look how unbalanced that is. I can't create for myself, so I'm gonna let the universe magically create for me. That's what this is saying. That's what our normal process of manifestation the idea, okay? I asked you what simply just the word surrender, what that invoked, what kind of idea that invoked into you. We all basically agreed that it does have an energy of not doing anything, which is exactly the opposite of what this whole reading has been talking about. So if you feel like you get messages about surrendering, it does not mean stop taking actions. It does not mean give up. It does not mean stop. It does not mean pause. It does not mean throw in the towel. It does not mean... It simply means keep moving, but trust in your own ability to build your own path. And that can always change. It can always shift. It can always be adjusted. Because when we stop, everything stops. When we stop, everything stops. I've got a ringing in my ear. When we stop and say, oh, well, I give up. I'm just going to let the universe take care of this. The energy stops because we stopped. So, wow. Wow. This is a big message. So, this is about balancing into ourselves, into how we create, how we manifest, how we build. And this is how we build everything. This is really large. Take the reins into your own hands. Better yet, realize that they are your own reins. Yeah, Unstablix, yeah. This is so powerful, though. Like, it's a lot of information, but it makes so much sense. It does, right? I know. I was not expecting this kind of reading. I'm learning from this reading right now. I'm going to go back and, like, rewatch it, like, 5 times. I'm going to go back, clip it, highlight it, so y'all can watch it whenever you want. Just rewatch it. Because I know there's some stuff I need to listen to quite a few times. Yeah, Invader says the first thing that came to mind with surrender was giving up. Although I know we're not necessarily talking about that kind of surrender. Yeah, but understand that mentally, that is a mental implant, that is a mental program that is already in your consciousness. That's what I'm pointing out. We might not be talking about this specific type of surrender, but if the underlying current of the word surrender is non-action in some way or form, subconsciously or consciously, you will fall into an energy of non-action because that energy is the undercurrent of that phrase. So if you're seeing affirmational messages where maybe spirit is sending you messages of just surrender to the process, a part of you is downloading because you have that program in your consciousness of non-action. A part of you is saying, oh well, the universe has it, I'm not going to do nothing. Dude, that's what I want to point out. That can be detrimental to you. That's what I want to point out to people, is why this message is coming through so strong and why I'm spending so much time on it. Because when you go into non-action, according to everything we've been talking about, that's when you quit manifesting. That's when you quit putting energy out. That's when you turn everything off. That's when you become unbalanced in your masculine and feminine energy. Yeah, your need, maybe desire energy has been taken care of a little bit because of that. But not for a healthy, balanced reason. Simply because you kind of could give a fuck less right now. That's not a healthy thing, you know. So I definitely feel like this is a very powerful message. Oh my freaking god. I hope it helps everybody. I'm definitely gonna clip it and save it for my own reference to rewatch, because I know there's stuff that I said that I had heard for the first time that made the most sense recently that I know I need to listen to again. So I will put it in the highlight. I'll make a highlight. We'll talk for a bit and then I'll open up the raffle for card reading. So subscribers can get a chance at a reading today. I am going to put the intention that the right subscribers are picked who need a message, and we'll roll it and see who's chosen, see who the universe chooses. Wow. I know, it's crazy. Eureka. Yeah, surrender isn't necessarily always giving up. It can also be giving in. Yeah, but in that giving in, is there non-action? That's what I'm concerned about. In that giving in, is there non-action? And only you could know that. Right? Only each individual person can know for themselves if that giving in has an energy of non-action in there. If it does, that needs to be investigated. It's so powerful. All of the messages that they've been sending me that I've been trying to understand, you just fully explained it, and now I get it. This was amazing. Wow, thank you. You're welcome, Ashley. You're welcome. I know there's a lot of people, especially on Twitch. Like, let's be honest. On Twitch, everybody wants to enjoy themselves. Everybody, especially if they're a fellow streamer, like everybody wants to get their cake. You know, they want to be successful on Twitch. That's kind of why they're on Twitch. Or some of them aren't. Some of them just want to hang out with their friends, and streaming is just like a fun thing, which that's beautiful too. But specifically, especially those who are part of the light workers of Twitch community, like we wanna provide this service. We wanna make our stream into a healthy, balanced service of others and humanity and like the collective, and like we wanna help. And I feel like we also want to make sure that we're receiving from giving that help too. So I feel like that message today is for everybody who's just trying to get their desires and their dreams as a service to like find its own balance, to work in everyone's favor. That's what I feel. You think that's the first time you heard me use the F-bomb, Ghoulie? I've said the F-bomb before. But it's funny that you say that. One good turn deserves another. Wait, we have cake? Yeah, so some of you who are, if you've been subscribed for a year or more, your sub badge is actually a cosmic cake. So yes, we have cake. I'm glad the message was really helpful. The controller has a nice statement. I think another aspect of the problem is that some people don't see themselves separate from the rest of the universe. I could see that too. And there are others who would. The thing is, I think too far on either spectrum is too much. Okay? So if you are somebody who is all over here in saying, I am one with the universe, you lose your sense of being on the physical plane and having your own personality and identity. How can you enjoy being a human with a persona and a personality if you don't want to look at it and you only want to see yourself as a spiritual infinite being just like everything else in the universe? How can you enjoy being a human then, if you only look at that part? And if you only look at the part of, I'm a human with these very a physical human in a physical body, and it's too far. Either way, it's too far. Like I watched there was an art show. It was like an art reality TV show. They were doing like glass blowing. It was on Netflix. I don't know if anyone watched this, but I'm talking about this in specific because the goal of I'll go ahead and I'll open the raffle in here in just a minute. But the goal of the trial was to express themselves through their art piece. Like, show an expression of them in an art piece and their own individual journeys through that piece of art. So it was a very personal piece that they were having to create and reflect upon and show to the judges. There was one lady, I could tell that she was more spiritual. She had done a piece where she had created lots of little tiny anamorphic blobs, basically. And she had said that she created the piece because she's a soul among infinite souls. And she didn't win the challenge because there was no individuality in that. There was no her. I mean, yes, that's part of her, but in physical reality, on a reality TV show, and this is where it becomes maybe a little bit unhealthy. Like, look at that. Where are you in your human existence in that piece? She wasn't there. She wasn't there. So others of you who maybe struggle with how to be a human, should probably look at that in a way that's a bit balanced, because we are both. We are both human and spiritual. We are both feminine and masculine. Okay, we are both trusting and energetically just receiving as well as taking physical action. We are both. So a lot of the message today is about balance. Find that balance in yourself. Hi, Riot. And thank you so much, Controller, for your subscription. I appreciate you, hon. It's a small piece of pie, but a giant slice of muffin. Unless it's a giant muffin. Hey, Steamed Hams, welcome back. Welcome back. Alright, I'm gonna open this raffle. Wow, what a massive message. I think I could literally keep talking about this like for so long, and there's so many layers in here. Like, I do not know if I could like uncover everything, but like, this is massive. It's just it's just massive.